All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to your final two fights, you guys had a good time tonight? All right, well, it is now time for your Valor Fights 24 co-main event of the evening. And it will be in the Valor lightweight division, brought to you by Ogle, Elrod, and Baril. Please welcome to the cage first, fighting out of the red corner, Chris Aguilar.
Chris Aguilar, the first to the cage out of that Atos headquarters, and world-renowned, as Casey Oxendine mentioned, out of San Diego, California. But he's originally from Cleveland, Tennessee, where he was a multi-time state champion wrestler at Bradley Central High School. Now in San Diego, training with Mercido Gestup, Elite Wrestling. He's elite at wrestling, and it'll be interesting to see how he's evolved. The last time he was in the cage was 3 years ago.
Right.
It's a pretty significant time out.
Well, I'll tell you a few names, notable names in jiu-jitsu that have come out of Atos. One being Andre Galvao, very famous fighter, and the Mendez brothers, okay?
Wow.
Yeah, two of the top competitors in all of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. That's what that team produces, and what a journey I'm certain it has been for Chris Aguilar.
Chris Aguilar, as we heard before the bout tonight at the weigh-in, was cut, looked good. He looks good. You'll see that in just 1 second when he's in our co-main event here tonight. But looks good, and that doesn't always happen at the weigh-ins, right? Guys look kind of, at times look like they've been trying to cut weight and look pretty thin or
sure,
exhausted.
absolutely.
Right? So Chris Aguilar at 2-0 in his MMA career. He'll take on smooth Stephen Haag, fighting out of Sevierville, Tennessee. And almost ready for Aguilar to enter the cage. Our co-main event brought to you by Ogle, Elrod, and Baril. To introduce Chris Aguilar's opponent, back to the cage and Cody Gwynn.
Now, please welcome his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, Stephen Haag.
Casey, you know Stephen Haag. Tell us a little bit about Smooth.
Man, this kid has been around for a long time. I've known him since he was probably 14 or 15 years old. And I remember him training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with Phil Hurst, black belt under Helio Seneca. He trained with him for many years, and you can see Phil there in his corner. But now training at Fit Factory there with Gene Click. Everybody knows Gene, who is also a black belt under Helio Seneca, as am I. So, this is a kid that I've been fortunate enough to watch grow up, but, that's not all. He is not just a one-trick pony. The kid can strike. He can do it all. He can wrestle. You name it.
Now, another interesting thing is the layoff for Stephen Haag.
Yes.
Since 2008, his last bout was a win over Marion Carruth, three-round unanimous decision win. But again, that was in 2008, and then before that, beat Pat Shimke, Nate Huntington, and Jared Burke. So he comes in with a good record at 1-0 in his pro career, and then a couple of amateur bouts as well. The win over Jared Burke, it's a Bellator vet that he beats. And then, as you mentioned, a brown belt in BJJ. He's a Hamlin County deputy as well. And the interesting thing is, just like we saw earlier tonight, coming off of a long layoff, just like we saw with a fighter earlier on tonight, David Robbins, even despite the long layoff, plans to make his pro debut and go pro in September, despite the long layoff.
Well, nothing prepares you for mixed martial arts competition like mixed martial arts competition. So the more you're in the cage, the more comfortable you become. However, Stephen Haag has been very active on the grappling circuit still yet, so that does play a positive role.
All right, to the cage, our official fighter introductions. Here is Cody Gwynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is your co-main event of the evening in the Valor lightweight division, brought to you by Ogle, Elrod, and Baril. When the action begins, your referee in charge of this bout is Nalo Lachuga. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he enters with an undefeated record with 2 wins and no defeats. He weighed in 156 pounds. fighting out of San Diego, California, by way of Cleveland, Tennessee, and fighting out of Atos headquarters, Chris Aguilar. His opponent standing across the cage, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, also undefeated with a record of 1 win with no defeats. He also weighed in 156 pounds, fighting out of Sevierville, Tennessee, and representing Fit Factory, Smooth Steven Haag.
Chris Aguilar from San Diego in the red trunks. Steven Smooth Haag out of Sevierville in the white trunks, both with huge applause when they were introduced here
And
tonight.
I remember Chris Aguilar's bout with Cadrian Brewster very well. Beautiful wrestling in that fight. He had a lot of control.
Couple front leg kicks by Haag, a slip by Aguilar, and then
Here we go, looking for a flying triangle. It's Steven Haag right here.
and a
And
slam.
a nasty slam there by Chris Aguilar. Look at this, tying up the ankle now. He cannot do heel hooks, only straight Achilles locks. Oh, look at this, but transitioning here. He's looking for a calf cutter, a reverse calf cutter here.
Aguilar raining down
That
the
is
body.
extremely painful. If Steven Haag can lock this up, it will absolutely rip your hamstring.
Aguilar looks calm though.
Yes.
What can he do? Does it just rain down shots to get it?
I would say that Steven Haag definitely needs to look out for those hammer fists, the left hammer fists of Chris Aguilar in this position.
Yep.
But as you can see, he is in very good control here.
Putting his weight now on and laying down. Boy, you don't see that.
Yeah,
often.
but it actually puts more pressure on Chris Aguilar to put the weight down. If I were Steven Haag, I would take my left foot and actually start to put pressure into my own ankle and cause even more pressure, but it looks like he's going for the rear naked choke here.
Wow, and by laying back and putting weight, he gave up his neck.
Yes.
Can Aguilar survive
Not
here?
a good position for Chris Aguilar right here.
Trying to separate the hands is Aguilar, and Aguilar gets out. Wow.
But he's not out. He is still laced up very, very tightly. And I'll say this, if he does survive the round in this position, what sort of effect has it done on his leg? Now look at Chris Aguilar, possibly looking to pull up on the leg. I don't know. Trying to dislodge the position because, again, like I said, is very painful.
Wow. Under a minute left to go in round number 1 here in our co-main
Oh, look at
event.
this. Look at excruciating pain here.
Trying to lift up the leg so he can get his leg out.
The best thing that Chris Aguilar can do here is survive.
Wow.
He is hurting. He is hurting, and now what use is this left leg now?
Yep.
How much damage has it done?
Aguilar in front of his corner, so getting instructions
Oh,
there.
Aguilar looking for a submission of his own, but ends up in a bad spot. 20 seconds to go.
Crowd into it. Looking for an ankle is Aguilar.
Oh, here we go. Now looking for the guillotine. Aguilar better grab that wrist, otherwise he's going to get caught.
Under 10 seconds to go. Final seconds. Can Aguilar hang on? And that's the end of round number 1.
Steven Haag right here. Wow, beautiful submission attempts and control by Steven Haag.
And Aguilar
appearing a little bit unsteady.
Yep.
Again, I said a terrible stretch there on the left leg, the knee joint of Chris Aguilar, inflicted by that submission attempt by Steven Haag.
Haag's got a cut on his nose, but he won that round.
Here you go. You see him looking to lock up that flying triangle. Chris Aguilar with a great posture and essentially power bombs Steven Haag to the ground.
Unbelievable, the action in that round, and here it is.
And boom, but instantly, look, Steven Haag transition to the ankle lock and later directly on into the calf cutter.
So the instability of Aguilar, we got to watch that. Is that because of the choke at the end? Is it because that knee and leg was
I
under so
believe
much
he's
pressure.
feeling it. You saw the excruciating expression on the face of Chris Aguilar towards the end of that last round.
Touch gloves, Nalo Lechuga, our referee.
Those things stay with you. That's your wheel we're talking about.
Head kick, Aguilar on the attack.
Oh, that was a hard hit. I think that head kick stunned
Yep.
Stephen Haag. This is not a good spot for Stephen Haag right here.
Aguilar, good start to round number 2. He has to feel like he's down 1 round to none.
Yes.
He tried to trip there, couldn't get it. 30 seconds
And
into
again,
round
you
2.
said it's been a while since Stephen Haag has been inside of the cage. Right now is where those nerves start to blast, because you had that adrenaline burst in the first round. It's much more difficult for you to handle your adrenaline if you're not used to being active inside the cage.
Chris Aguilar, it's been 3 years, but for Stephen Haag, it's been since 2008.
Yes.
Missed on that kick, but close. Aguilar might have a little cut. Sticking the left jab, goes to the body.
Oh, those are nasty shots there by Chris Aguilar. Stephen Haag fights back and now jockeying for position here in the clinch.
Haag sticks a knee. And we'll see what Aguilar can do. Will he separate and throw, or will he lean on Haag? They're trying for a trip. Now they're back apart. Back on the attack is Aguilar.
Another big shot there by Stephen Haag.
Oh, a big kick.
But it does not phase Chris Aguilar. He just continues forward with his onslaught.
Goodness.
Stephen Haag, round 1, all Stephen Haag. Round 2, Chris Aguilar without a doubt.
And the stand-up has been to Aguilar's advantage.
I think so. I think he stunned Stephen Haag early in the round, and he has not let up. I have I tend to believe that Haag is the more dominant on the ground, even though Aguilar does fight out of the Antos team. It may be that he has worked to develop the defense for the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which he is using right here.
Got the separation, rained on some shots. Now they're back to the center of the cage. A crowd going crazy in the final 30 seconds of round number 2. Loving the action. Aguilar not a whole lot on those kicks.
Stephen Haag with a big shot.
Stuck
Down
the right.
goes Chris Aguilar.
Aguilar's
Stephen
done.
Haag. Wow.
Stephen Haag was losing the round, but he rallies to win in round number 2.
What a win, and you can see the grimace on the face of Chris Aguilar. Unbelievable finish.
Wow. And we said earlier, really the stand-up advantage was going to Aguilar in that round.
Oh, absolutely. Stephen Haag, the head of Stephen Haag is lumped up. Look at it. It looks like the surface of the moon right there, the man in the moon. But it doesn't matter. He came back and he got the victory. Wow.
Unbelievable. Take a look at the replay here, the finish. Kick and then the right.
It was the straight right, and then the liver.
Yeah.
And you can see he's still holding his rib there.
And it did not go far. You can see Aguilar turning, and he was still hurting from the liver shot. Stephen Haag with the win to go to 2-0. Who cares about long layoffs? We've seen that tonight.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Unbelievable. Our lightweight bout here, our co-main event presented by Ogle, Elrod, and Burrell will go to Stephen Smooth Haag over Chris Aguilar, and giving Aguilar his first loss of his career. Man, you can see the disappointment in the face of the corner of Chris Aguilar as they are still tending to Chris Aguilar's. Oh, he's hurting just trying to get up, and you see the lumps. And
that's what I was talking about,
pounding.
man. The man in the moon tonight. But I'll tell you what, he really came through. He hung the moon tonight.
The Hamlin County deputy, he gets the win and buckled Chris Aguilar. And Stephen Haag looking to make his pro debut. It's an impressive win tonight. I guess Plan should be full go on that one. And to his feet is Chris Aguilar. Crowd gives him a round of applause. Still waiting. They're still tending to Aguilar over there. And shortly we'll get our official decision. Here, a second round win going Stephen Haag's way. Don't forget, follow Valor Fights on Twitter at Valor Fights, V-A-L-O-R Fights. And then ValorFights.com for fighter rankings and interviews and the latest news, upcoming events, all of that at ValorFights.com. And don't forget, Saturday nights, Fox 43, you can see Valor Fights. We appreciate the great work of Fox 43, our terrific TV partner here for Valor Fights. Here we're in Crossville, Tennessee tonight for Valor Fights 24 at the Cumberland County Youth Center. All right, let's go back to the cage. Our official decision announcement. Here's Cody Gwynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Lola Chuga has called a stop to this fight. 2 minutes and 48 seconds into the second round. Your winner by TKO, Smooth Stephen Haag.
Smooth Stephen Haag with a win, goes to 2-0. Cody Gwynn will catch up with Stephen in just a moment as Chris Aguilar comes out of the cage holding his side still. He's got a bright future, though. And Cody Gwynn now with our winner, Stephen Haag. Well, Stephen was trying to leave, and now Cody's got him. Well, after a picture. And one more photo, and then Cody Gwynn will catch up with our winner, Stephen Haag.
All right, Stephen. It's been a long time since you fought. You come in here, and it's not an easy fight. You're in an absolute war. How did you feel tonight?
Feels good. Chris is a tough opponent. Feels very good.
Is that kind of your game plan? Was that what you wanted to do, come in here, take it to the ground, or would you kind of want to show you had a little stand-up?
It's going to work stand-up a little bit, but I expected him to take me to the ground. So that's what we was working on. That's what we was ready for.
So what's next for you, man? I mean, it's been a while since we've seen you in the cage. Got any plans?
Looking at making my pro debut in September here at Valor.
All right, September 12th in the Tri-Cities. Stephen Haag making his pro debut. I know you train at the View Gyms. Got a bunch of people here. Any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, so I thank Phil Hirsch, Gene Click, Billy Mullins. Those are my coaches. Everybody at Fit Factory and Victory BJJ. Everybody's helped me get ready for this. And thanks to my sponsors, ones that support me, and everybody here. Thank you guys for coming out.
All right, before I let you go, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to give it away, man. That knee to liver was nasty, and that's tonight's knockout of the night. Congratulations, Smooth Stephen Haag, ladies and gentlemen.
So congratulations to Smooth Stephen Haag, not only getting the win in this lightweight bout, moving to 2-0, but gets KO of the night. Look at that plaque from Valor Fights. Congrats to Stephen Haag.